Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today I'm creating a layout using the August 2025 My Creative Scrapbook main kit, and today I'm going to be using the cut file that comes included in your kit. It's already pre-cut. First, let's go ahead and jump in. So I've done a few things off camera and I want to explain how I did these. So I'm following a design from Allison Davis. This was a sketch, and in her sketch she had some instructions to mark at 4 inches. So I took and marked along the left side at 4 inches, and then I found the center of the page and drew a line from each of those marks to the center. And then I did 4 inches over at the top and then one at the bottom. So you could continue going all around the page if you wanted. And so I went ahead and traced, I put these on a white cardstock, made my lines, cut them out, and then traced them on the pattern paper. So that's how we got to what I have on this right here. Now, I'm kind of wish I would have flipped the paper around. I don't know that I like these lines on the side, but it's too late for that. I've got one photo that I want to scrapbook, and this is my daughter at the lake, and it's just real summery photo, so I wanted to document that. And here's the cut file that came included in the kit. Now, I did go into the members side of the website, so once you're a member, you can click on cut files and you can print the cut files. So I did reprint it, and the only reason I did that is because I wanted to put a piece of vellum behind it. And you wouldn't necessarily have to add that step, but I think it adds just a little something. And I tried to keep it about the same size that it was as it came to us. Now I want to color this cut file, so I'm bringing in some Distress Oxides, and that was my little swatch ring. And I'm thinking, I think picked raspberry is what I want to use here. I think that's the color I have. And I want to just get a blending brush and go ahead and ink this whole cut file up. I wasn't sure at first if I wanted to do the glasses in another color, but I've got so much pink in the pattern paper. I really wanted to play up on that pink. So I found an ink blending brush. I think this is one I got free or something. It had another color on it, but I don't think it's coming off. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm kind of just tapping on the cut file. This is a very delicate one, and so that's why it's so tiny. I didn't want to cut the letters for the centers. I thought the vellum behind it would just be enough, and it kind of gives that like summer feel, just real light and airy. All right, so I am just gonna tap this color on, being careful not to pull on it because it might tear. So I'm just kind of dipping my blending tool in the paint or in the ink, and then onto the cut file. So I did a lot of that off camera. Now I'm taking my precision glue press. I have the Nuvo Deluxe glue in here. It dries clear. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back of the cut file. And then I'm going to add this to my vellum piece. So we'll go ahead and get this glued down. I like the Nuvo Deluxe glue because it does dry clear. So if any seeps out, you won't be able to see it. And we'll give it a good press. So I think this cut file is so cute. And you know, you could really even make this bigger by using the members website on My Creative Scrapbook. And you know, it could fill up a whole page. That would be super cute too. All right, so there are these little layering pieces. And so I think they're gonna go in here. And then I've got the insides of the glasses, and trying to decide what color I want those. And I think I want to go with the pink. So I went ahead and colored those off camera into the pink. Oops, I had that upside down. And I'm just going to glue these inserts back in. So let me add a little more glue here, and we'll just glue that right on top of that vellum. And then there's a little bitty, like tiny ring that goes around the outer portion of the glasses. And I'm going to bring in a marker for that because that's really tiny. I've got these, let's see what they're called. They're Nuvo Dual Dot markers, and this is a metallic marker. And this is in the color Black Pearl. So I'm just going to use this marker and go around the edges here. And I'll do that for both of them. So we'll quickly get these colored up. And I like that little metallic. And the gray kind of pulls in the grays from the black and white photo. So I think that that kind of helps draw your eye there. All right. So these are really tiny and fragile. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers. We'll get a little glue added to the back, and I'll glue these right on top of the glasses lenses. There we go. And then I'll do the same thing and put this one on the left side. And then we'll have our cut file pretty well complete. That looks really good. I like that. Now I'm wondering if this is going to wipe up off my glass mat, and yes, it does. So I'm super excited about that. All right, usually, you know, in glasses, they have like a little screw or finishing detail. So I'm going to add just a little white gem to the sides of each of these. And I chose white because there's like white in the paper. So I've got my photo, and let me go ahead and get this glued down. Never fails, my tape runner, I need to refill it. So I did that off camera, and I'll get this stuck down. Now, this is an Allison Davis sketch that I'm following, so I'll leave it linked down below in the description box. It is a page sketch, so I can't show it, but in her sketch, she had two photos. So there's like this one here, and then there's another one to the right. And so this is where I'm really going rogue, and the only thing I really followed from the sketch was the outside design and then this one photo. So I just wanted to mention that, but you know, sketches are just such a great jumping off point. It gets your creativity going, and sketches are just made to inspire you. Now my daughter is going to turn 16 this month. In fact, while this is airing, the month of August, she will be 16. So I thought it was only appropriate, with this being the summer that she turned 16, to add this little ephemera piece that says Always Sunny, and it has some keys because, you know, that's going to be her soon driving around. And I thought that would symbolize kind of her 16th birthday summer. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit of foam, some craft foam to the back. And I'm going to add that up there. You'll notice I added a little tag behind her photo. I just wanted to build an embellishment cluster, and it just felt kind of empty. I wanted to have a starting point to build this embellishment cluster on. Now don't worry, I'm not going to leave that tag naked. I don't like any tags without something there, so eventually I'll add some twine. All right, I found this cute little flower, and I do want to kind of put a couple things down here. So I think that the little drink, she's holding a drink. She was at one of those little swim up restaurants, and she was drinking a Shirley Temple, but this little lemonade will kind of symbolize that. So I've got the little drink and the flower, and now I think I want to add another tag up here to the top behind her photo, just to really build up this area up here. And I don't want this white to stick out too far on the side, so I'm going to kind of tuck it in. I don't want a lot of awkward space, you know, between where the design is and her photo. So I think that's just the right amount. So I've got that tucked in. I did distress the edges of the tags. And let's see here, I haven't glued down my cut file, so I'm ready to commit on that. I am being careful just to put a little bit of glue behind where the letters are, because it is vellum and it's see-through. The only place I can really put a lot of glue is behind where the lenses are. So I'm going to commit. I want this to overlap my photo just a touch. So we'll get that added. So cute. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. All right, so there we go. I've got the cut file. I feel like this is nearly complete. I just need to add a few more finishing details. I like these wordy bits that came on the sticker sheet. So I've got summer fun, and then I want to bring in some more pink, and this one says days like these. So that's really cute there. And now let me see what else I can find here on the sticker sheet. I did find this. This is from the chipboard. I'm going to go ahead and commit. It's a pink flower, and that just kind of ties that off there. I found some little glasses. Now with these, I did add a little bit of foam to the left side because that drink is popped up on foam. So I wanted that to be at the same level. I'm adding a few heart stickers, and we'll sprinkle those around. And now I want to add some splatter. So I've got this white luster brush from scrapbook.com, and it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I really like the looks of this. I did not want to get it on my vellum or on my photo, so I covered both of those up with some scrap pieces of paper. I am pooling the ink here and just splattering that all around the layout, and I love the way that that looks. And then off camera, I will go in and add just a few clear sequins, and you'll see that I did also add the ribbon up to the tops of the tags. So that completes today's layout. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. If you don't already follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, I would love for you to follow me on those platforms as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!